Alright, language explorers. So, let's have a look at some more unusual articles, but from South America, so you can practice British English accent through ASMR with tea, with my cup from Mexico. So let's have a look. Darien Gap. This journey is impossible with the modes you have selected. Really? Let's have a look. Darien Gap. Alright, let's have a look. What makes it impossible? The gap can be transited by off-road vehicles attempting intercontinental journeys. The first post-colonial expedition to the Darien was the Marsh-Darien Expedition, 1924-25, supported by several major sponsors, including the Smithsonian Institution. Okay, well. Devil's Island. Now this I've heard of. A notorious penal colony off the coast of French Guiana. Yes. The penal colony of Cayana, commonly known as Devil's Island, was a French penal colony that operated for more than 100 years, from 1852 to 1953, in the Salvation Islands of French Guiana. Opened in 1852, the Devil's Island system received convicts from the prison of Saint-Laurent-du-Marignon, who had been deported from all parts of the Second French Empire. It was notorious both for the staff's harsh treatment of detainees and the tropical climate and disease that contributed to high mortality. The prison system had a death rate of 75% at its worst, and was finally closed down in 1953. Devil's Island was also notorious for being used for internal exile of French political prisoners, with the most famous being Captain Alfred Dreyfus, accused of spying for Germany. The Dreyfus affair was a scandal, extending for several years in late 19th, early 20th century France, exposing anti-Semitism and corruption in the French military. Alfred Dreyfus. Okay. Interesting. All right. So, Hacienda Naples, the luxurious estate of the deceased drug lord Pablo Escobar, that may lead to it. Oh yes, I've heard of this. So this Naples Estate, Hacienda, luxurious estate built and owned by Colombian drug lord Pablo Escobar in Puerto Trinidad, Antioquia Department, Colombia, approximately 150 kilometers, 91 miles east of Medellin, 249 kilometers, 155 miles northwest of Bogota. The estate covers about 20 square kilometers, 7.7 square miles of land. Following Escobar's death in 1993, many of the original property in the original buildings on the property were demolished or reconditioned for other uses. Now, if I remember correctly, this place had like hippopotami living there, exotic birds, giraffes, hippopotamus, ostrich and ponies. The ranch also boasted a large collection of old and luxury cars and bikes, a private airport, a bull ring, and even a kart racing track. Mounted atop the hacienda's entrance gate is a replica of the Piper PA-18 Super Cub airplane. Ah, yes. Now, Escobar kept four hippos in a private manageria at Hacienda Naples. They were deemed too difficult to seize and move after Escobar's death, and hence left on an untended estate. By 07, the animals had multiplied to 16 and had taken to roaming the area for food in nearby Magdalena River. The National Geographic Channel produced a documentary about them entitled Cocaine Hippos. A report published in a Yale student magazine noticed that local environmentalists are campaigning to protect the animals, although there is no clear plan for what will happen to them. In 2018, National Geographic published another article on the hippos, which found disagreement among environmentalists on whether they were having a positive or negative impact. But, wrong cup. But that conservatives and locals, particularly those in the tourism industry, were mostly in support of the continued presence. In January 2021, scientists proposed to euthanize the approximately 100 hippos, as they have dispersed over the Magdalena River basin. Some scientists have suggested castrating the male hippos to prevent further breeding. Yes, I heard about this. The hippopotami that got out of control. Yeah, how cool is that? So let's have a look. One more. This is interesting. A series of towns in Argentina's Chubut province with a minority of Welsh speakers. Wow, let's have a look at this. I've heard that there are settlements and towns in Argentina that are Welsh and German. So, the colony, Wadlava, the Welsh settlement, refers to the establishment of settlements by Welsh immigrants in Patagonia beginning 1865. In the 19th and 20th century, the Argentine government encouraged immigration from Europe to populate Patagonia, which, until the conquest of the desert began in the 1870s, terra nullius, claimed but not controlled by both Argentina and until 1884 by Chile. Okay, so a smaller colony was set up in Santa Fe by 44 Welsh people who left Chubut, and another group settled by Colonel Suarez. Okay, the Welsh Argentine community is centred in Gaiman, Trelew, and Trelevin. The Chubut estimates the number of Patagonian Welsh speakers to be about 1,500, while other estimates put the number at 5,000. So, Welsh speakers in Argentina. That's pretty cool, of course. Huh. Wow. Okay. The Nazca Lines. A line museum exhibited outdoors in southern Peru. Yes, Nazca. Wow. Okay. Quickly then. The Nazca Lines are a group of very large geoglyphs made in the soil of the Nazca Desert in southern Peru. They were created between 500 BC and AD 500 by people making depressions or shallow incisions in the desert floor, removing pebbles and leaving differently coloured dirt exposed. In the year leading up to 2020, between 80 and 100 new figures had been found with the use of drones, and archaeologists believe that there are more to be found. Well, you kind of would have thought they would have found them all by now, but okay. All right. How cool is that? Yeah. How cool is that, language explorers? Let's keep exploring.